license, if you didn't have registration, and if you didn't have insurance, right, you didn't have to pay anything. Understand? Because they gave you time to go get your driver's license, time to get your registration, time to get your insurance. So when you brought them back to court, the judge would just throw it out. But now they have a charge for you. Okay, that's the reason why a lot of people don't have driver's license. And that charge is somewhere in general in the neighborhood around $700 to $900 for not having those
driver's license,
registration, and insurance.
That's all on an automobile. If you don't have that, then it's almost impossible to own in reality an automobile. Is that what?
Well,
I mean, it's very, very expensive to do.
Like I said, 75% of North Nashville doesn't have driver's license. That means that 75% of the traffic. Okay, that means 3 out of every 4 cars that you see going down the street, the person in it does not have a driver's license. All right, and that is fact. Understand? All right. Now that's one of the most difficult things. And when I surpassed the driver's license, when I asked the customer, I said, "Look, do you have a driver's license?" And he says, "Yes." I breathed a sigh of relief. It's like, whew, I got over that driver's license thing. Okay, because what I said just a minute ago, 75% don't have drive, and the reason why is because of the cost of these citations. And when you receive citations, you are booked, fingerprinted, okay, and sometimes you might need bond.
That's without a license.
Yes, sir, without a license. Okay, you are taken downtown, and you booked and you're fingerprinted, so you become a part of the institution. You don't buy driving without that license. But that also happens, you go back to these other lots, right? I told you about the salvage title cars. You don't need driver's license.
Okay, you can go there and
buy it without driver's license.
But you buy it at a price.
You can either buy a salvage title car, you buy it at a price, right? Without Social Security number. I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know that
I bet you didn't know that. You know what I mean? You can purchase these automobiles, right? Because what? They're not what? Worth what you purchased it for. And that's one thing that Cars Unlimited does not do. We don't sell junk. And I want people to know that, right? A lot of people come to me and said, when you come to me, I want you to have $1,500 down. I want you to at least have been on your job 2 years. Okay, we ever saying, good credit, bad credit, no credit, slow credit. You work, you ride. 2 years at least on the job, $1,500 down. You can't have $1,000 down. Okay, we don't worry about so much your credit, right? But you got to have at least 2 years on the job, $1,500 down. Okay, and also you have to make at least $1,500 on your job. Now a lot of these companies that people eat out of fast food companies, they only pay $7 an hour, which is $1,200 down, right? Okay, if you come, you're gonna need a cosigner, because these banks will finance you nowadays with 400 beacon scores. Okay, if you qualify in those, remember, 2 years on the job, $1,500 down. Okay, and also you have to have an income of at least $1,500, and you can purchase a nice and good clean car through Cars Unlimited.
Through Cars Unlimited. And so you mentioned earlier about the price of cars. I mean that there's a propensity on the part of black folks to have a car rather than have a home. Is that what you were saying?
Oh yeah.
It's easier to have a car than.
For us, it's easy for us to buy a car because the number one thing about automobile, right? It's a what? A depreciating item. Now a lot of homes are depreciating. You know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the foreclosure and all that. I just heard myself in the last few days, right, about homes being underwater. That used to be for a car. A car was underwater.
Okay, so they're using the terms that they used to use a long time ago with cars, and now they're using with homes.
Now, all that means is that you're out of equity. You owe more on it than it's worth. Understand what I'm saying? And generally, when you start out with an automobile, you start out owing more on it than it's worth. Now, with these used cars, a lot of people also going to used cars saying, don't buy new cars. If you can buy a new car, all right.
That's right. Okay.
Buy a new car.
Okay, I understand exactly what you're saying. And of course, we've got about 30 seconds here, and this is some information. This is very, very important information, and I think that a lot of folks don't think in terms of, especially this idea about being emotional buyers or rational buyers. I think that's a very, very good information, and it's certainly instructive in terms of how I've seen the car industry operate, and et cetera. And so let me thank you over the last 10 seconds that we have, Mr. J. Don Bowen, for bringing us that excellent information by. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and good morning.